What's up, guys, and welcome back to Survival Multiplayer. I think I may be doing a series on this, or at least something, and the reason is because I actually have more stuff to do in this series than in my single player, because like I said, we haven't defeated the Ender Dragon or anything, so there's other things to do, and like setting up grinders, and I feel like it's kind of like when you have something new, you use that or you play that like a whole bunch, and then you move on to the next thing. This is just the next thing for me. My regular series has not stopped. It won't stop. So uh, I just I'm just gonna probably be putting more of these out until I get more stuff to do in there. Also, got all the discs plus a whole double chest full plus like another half double chest full, or I guess a regular chest full of extras. The one that was causing me problems was Strad, which is a damn good song. Anyway, so I have some equipment here and whatnot because I'm going to be working on a double grinder. Yes, I found a double grinder and I'm very happy. Or two spawners close enough to each other to where they will activate. But real quick, before I left last night or the night before, I went to one of the other people on this servers, one of my buddies, and I went to his house, and he's got this he's green army and he's got this green stripe like all the way around his house. So I took magenta, which I'm taking the role of magenta in this world because purple's a little expensive, whereas magenta I can get infinite. So I think I might be team magenta. Might change that in the future, but I replaced all his green wool with magenta wool, and he somewhat pranked me back. So I guess it's kind of just simple pranks. His is a little more creative than mine. Mine was just pretty much just replacing all his. But Love Lux, he said, "Dear Odd, found your wool organized and returned." And it actually took me a minute because I never look up. I was like, I don't see it, so I went down into my caves and everything to see if he put it anywhere, and there it is. He also left me a nice zombie. I don't know if he actually meant to leave this zombie, but there's also a zombie that spawned up there. Also, way to leave this here, guy. Way to not clean up your your method of getting on top of my roof. That's got to be the worst part of the prank, is this block right here. I'm just gonna break it. But yeah, so there's a guy up there in chain armor, and there's snow on top of the blocks because I'm guessing since we're in a extreme hills plus area, it goes up a little bit further and snows there. But I'm gonna leave it there for now because we got some stuff that I got some stuff that I want to do, and the first thing is show you guys that I do have another portal here to get back to where the base is, where we first started, and also to go over to the double spawner, which is down this way. I've cleaned up the path a little bit. I need to clean it up a little bit more because it's kind of hard to see where you're going through here. And I also don't know if anyone knows where it's at because I didn't really point it out to anyone. But come through here. I've done a lot of digging. So one of them is unfortunately a zombie spawner, which we have just tons of those around. Few surface ones in deserts too. No surface skeletons, but we are actually in a desert hills, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's just a big old mountain above us. There's one, and the second one is down here, and it is a skeleton grinder, or it's a skeleton spawner, which is great because now I can combine the two to make a double grinder. And as you can see, I've made a little sweet spot here. I mapped out to where you have to be to have both spawners activated, and I believe you can go a little bit further this way, but I want to keep it contained in this little square, and you'll see why later on in this episode when we actually get to the building portion. But when it's got the particles like that, it's activated, and if you back up just a little bit outside of this, that one deactivates. That one's still activated. This one you can go all the way over here and it's still activated. And I had a wall set up here. If you stand on this block and go all the way over, that one disables, and here too. So this square is really where you want to be to have both of them activated. The unfortunate thing is both of these are spawned around a mine shaft, which I'm gonna have to light that up or block it off And one more interesting thing, I was just a few blocks short. I tried to find a sweet spot, but I was I would think I was 4 blocks short of there being a sweet spot for a third spawner, and I don't have any tools on me right now, and I don't want to go get it. It's just faster to break this. I say faster, and this is taking forever. And right there is a poisonous spider spawner, or a baby spider spawner, or a cave spider spawner. There we go. But it is just too short to reach the zombie and spider spawner at the same time. So it's not a triple spawner. It can be a double spawner if you want it to be. And I could set up like a track that'll take me between each one and get all 3 at once. But that might be for the future, because for now I'm just going to leave it as it is. But yes, these 2 are great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a grinder with both of these. I have to get all the zombies out of here, like 16 blocks that way, and all the skeletons out of there, like 16 blocks that way. So we'll have a double collection area, one for zombies, one for skeletons, and I'm going to have it to where you can turn one off if you want to, or turn both off, or however you want to do it, which is what we're going to be doing in this episode. And I'm going to cut away to get the materials and see you guys in just a second. Okay, so I've got a little bit of work done, and I know how I'm going to handle everything now. As you can see, I've knocked some of these bricks out and put some redstone lights in there, and I put one back here, and I ran this in a creative world without these torches and just these lights, and nothing spawned when in complete darkness when these lights were on, and mobs can spawn on top of these, so the rate should be fine. I might have to light up some of the area around here. In fact, I'm definitely going to have to light up some of the caves around here to get maximum spawn rates, but for now it's fine. And the idea, I think I may have said this already, is to push one of these buttons and to turn on or off whichever one, and I only have zombie wired up, so click it. Light comes on, stays on as long as it needs to be, and it knocks those down and turns the lights off, as you can see. And click it again. Light goes off, pistons come back up, and the lights turn back on. And the water, of course, is going to be back here. I think I've pointed this design out in my single-player world, but here it is again anyway. I've just got redstone and redstone repeaters running. I swap out every other one to a piston, you know, to save some resources, even though it doesn't really require that many resources. And I've got a little throw off here to run to the backlight, and under here I've got redstone running into each one of these wool blocks, which is under a light, and that powers them, and that handles the off portion of that, and that is controlled by a T flip-flop back here, because, you know, it's a button. So generally you'd use a lever, but I think buttons are cooler. And it also gives me the option to use a T flip-flop, just because I love T flip-flops. And it runs up here to the light, and we're going to build this again here for the second one, because right now the second one's not hooked up, and all it does is just flick that light on and off. But I've got it dug out down here. Here's the trench to where all the pistons go, and I've got the light areas dug out, and a place to access the redstone for when we get down here. But first, let's go up and work on that T flip-flop, and I need to grab a few more items, which gives me the perfect chance to point this out too. I've set up a little platform here. As you can see, there's pumpkins under the carpets to keep it lit up right there. I'm going to pretty this all up once everything's hooked up, so it's not going to be looking like this the whole time, especially since I need to wall that in and give that a ceiling and everything. But yeah, this right here is the sweet spot, marked by the magenta squares. You can stand on the black square, it doesn't matter. I just needed to throw some color in there. But let's see. I'm going to need some pistons and some wool. I don't have enough red dye on me right now, so oh, that's just enough actually, because I usually mark some of my blocks with red wool to make it a little easier to follow. Get some of this, get some of this, get some of this, get some of this, and I believe that's it. I don't think we'll need the redstone lamps just yet, but hey, doesn't hurt to grab them anyway. Alright, so let's go back here and work on this second T flip-flop. it's basically the same pattern. In fact, it is the same pattern, but there is a little variance. Sorry about that. My internet is so bad right now. But anyway, there's a slight variance, and that's the fact that since we got to go down that way, this part's going to be a little bit different. But it's essentially the same. So what we want to start off by doing is bringing, this is where the button is on that side, and this is where the button is on that side. So we got to lay some wool down, because I'm using wool to make it a little bit easier to follow. And we got to get the pulse, or we got to get the signal from the button there and run it into a block on top of a sticky piston, which will cause it to pulse very quickly. In fact, as soon as it goes into here, it will kill the pulse. So it's like a 1-tick pulse, which is very, very fast. I don't know if I have... Where are my repeaters? Need to go grab some repeaters. I know they're in here somewhere. Comparators. There my repeaters are. Don't know why I didn't grab them in the first place. Or this, or this. In fact, I might have grabbed all this already, but my internet's so bad that it didn't register it because I did start back over here. Yeah, I think I had all this stuff. Yeah, don't worry, it's not the server, it's actually just my internet connection is deplorable, for lack of a better word. Alright, so we're going to run it down here, and repeaters are good for getting signals out of powered blocks, so run it here. And let's see, do I have a button I can use real quick? I'll just use this lever to show off that when it runs through here, as you can, it's kind of hard to see since my internet connection is so bad, but a pulse actually does go through into that block, though you can't really tell because my internet is not very fast. As you can see, I'm at 3 bars, but that's a lie. 3 bars basically means, hey, you might have some block lag, but at least you're not being kicked off because your internet died. Alright, so we're going to run it into a sticky piston here with a red wool block, and since it's such a fast tick, it'll go and power this block for 1 tick, which is too fast for it to register on this block, and it will actually leave the block in place. So I will show that off real quick. Just bam. And like I said, my internet's so bad that you can't tell, but it does retract to come get it and comes back for it. So that's basically how you turn a button into a lever, or, you know, just make a T flip-flop. And from here, like I said, it's going to be a little bit... Actually, you know what? I need to run it that way to get the power to the light anyway, so it's not going to be any different. Alright, we're going to put this up here and grab a redstone torch to power that light. And we're going to run a wool line down from here. Just however you want. This is just the way I do it. But you don't want to have it interfere with any of the other redstone here. I think I just threw a piece of wool somewhere. I did. Because I have my computer at such a weird angle to be closer to my router, which is just shit anyway. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and put this... I was off. No, I wasn't, because it needs to go here. Put this here, and put redstone here, and bam. That's going to be powering that block when it gets pushed into here. And we need to run another repeater to get the signal out of this block here. And run that up to the light. And booyah. Now, since we don't have this hooked up to anything else, all this is doing is making the light stay on or off, and I missed the control key and hit the shift key. Alright, so it's on now, so in theory, this will be running down there to the same sort of setup right here, and having them spawn, click it, and off. So, perfect. Now, I'm gonna skip the full wiring of this just because I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me dig all the way down there to find a way to get it down there in a decent manner, because it is gonna take a while. I should have just, well, this one is closer, but I will go ahead and show you guys the wiring of this, regardless of whether or not you want to see it. Just kidding. Knock those out and just get a row of sticky pistons. Just run them all along down here. This is going to hold back the water. I've decided to go this way. Much debate. I might actually change it. It depends. I'm trying to get these things out of the spawning distance as effectively and efficiently as possible. I forgot my other blocks, but that's fine. Probably not going to be using as much wool down here, but this is where you want to go every other one, lay down a repeater just because it saves on resources, and then go back the other way. Do that. And now comes the fun part of actually hooking it up. And I'm trying to do this without knocking out too much, because I didn't really knock out enough space to get through here. In fact, I did not run enough space at all. But that's fine. We'll go ahead and put these redstone lamps in. One there, one there, one there, and one there. And I almost forgot this one there. We'll just put wool under each of these to power, because when the power goes through, the wool blocks it. Powers the lights, as you saw on the zombie spawner. And I'm gonna have to knock some of these out. I'll place these somewhere else to get light down here, because to help a little bit of lag and stress on the server, you want to have like full light levels to where redstone's gonna be having torches and stuff, because torches change the light level and it can cause a little bit of lag. So if you have it lit up, it's going to be less noticeable. And we got to get the power out of here, run it to each one of these lights, and then run this completely through here. But I'm going to go ahead and light this up somehow. At least I left myself a little bit of room here to place some torches. And I'll probably light it up even more than this. Just this is what I'm doing for now. Run this all the way back through here. The unfortunate thing is that we do need to run a repeater, because it does go a distance. In fact, this one's going to have multiple repeaters, since it is very far. It is very far away from the T flip-flop. I mean, it's mostly vertical distance, but still. Let's see. Just go through here. We'll put the repeater here. I think that's where it's supposed to go, somewhere right here. It could probably go here, but trying not to spend too much time on this. And let's see. We'll put one more wool here, and we'll just fill this in with cobble, since I don't want to go find another stack of wool. I know I have a ton of wool here with me. And bam, 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 bam. This is all hooked up now, so I can just put a redstone torch here. This is going to act as the T flip-flop, since I don't have it hooked up yet, but let's just pretend when you click that up there, redstone signal runs down through the walls, down a vertical thing here, and puts those up, which will stop the water, turn those lights on. I forgot about this here. I need more wool. Let's go grab more wool. Actually, screw it. We can just use cobble. I'll change it out later. And how did I miss that? Alright, so basically what I did here is I just put a wool block up here with a redstone torch, and did a redstone torch elevator, which did I? Oh, I see. Yeah, gotta run it up here, but I do need one more redstone torch to place right there. So let me go make one of those real quick. I don't have any wood on me. Ugh, so unprepared for this. But hey, I had to dig out all this. Most of my time went to digging out all this. And I got most of the resources from the first zombie grinder I made on here. Do I really not have any wood here? Oh, there it is. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Just killing time, just killing time. And redstone there. Pick these back up. Put the torch in my hand. Let's run down there real quick. It's like we're carrying the Olympic torch, but different. I need to stop doing that because I don't have feather falling boots on. Though there are feather falling boots on the server. I was offered some feather falling boots. Real quick, we'll light this up back here. Can I? I don't know if I'll be able to get back out of here. Oh, I do have a pick on me, so that's fine. Put that there, and one last redstone dust to run it up to that light. And now that light should be powered if there was a light in there. And now there is. So pretend that there's a row of blocks here on top of these. I just need to go find some. In fact, let's go do that real quick. Oh man. Once again, I need to be more prepared for episodes like these. Do I have any more? It'd be down in this one. I've got just enough. Oh, and a whole stack more. So yeah, I'm fine. Again, I need to stop doing that. I'm gonna die. I have steak, but I don't want to eat it right now just because it would take too much time. Because we're almost done with this episode. And that's all set now. I just need to put the water in there. And hook it up. Because bam, hit this. Which will be the T flip-flop turning the machine on. Which the light would be on. And all this would be off. The water would be flowing. And these would be spawning. So, again, now the last task remains is to hook up each one and have it run, but I've got to run a few more tests to figure out exactly where. I want to put them both over here. I want to put a skeleton collection over here and a zombie collection over here or something and run it that way, but I'm going to have to do some testing to see exactly how far I need to be. I'm actually going to eat real quick because I am worried about dying. And zombie on. Skeleton quote-unquote on just because I don't have it hooked up completely. And then turn it on and off. So you can toggle whether or not you want just skeletons or just zombies. Of course, if you have both running at once, in theory, it should be twice as efficient. I've got to work on a... I have a system set up to handle the baby zombies because baby zombies also spawn, and the way that I transport them, they come to the collection thing also, and they're only 1 block high, which makes it very difficult to deal with them. But I have an idea up my sleeve that might be comical and very efficient for getting rid of those little bastards because they are evil. They run so damn fast. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. The next time you see me, I should have these things up and running, and I might show off the behind the scenes for that once it's all said and done. But again, here's the T flip-flops. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.